Welcome into another edition of the PH Factor as we bring you our May month here from Project Home. And we wanted to talk a little bit about our positions, some of what the work is like at Project Home. And currently we are hiring. Currently we have open position for a crew member and possibly looking for more crew members in the future. So we really want to talk more about what that job is like and what better people to talk with that about than the people who do it and have done it. So we're starting off today with Nathan Schultz, one of our crew leaders who started out as a crew person here at Project Home. And Nathan's going to give us a in the trenches look at what the crew person position is all about. Nathan, thanks for taking time to talk to me today.
Yeah, no problem.
So Nathan, all right, crew member, people see the position listing and they think, what does that mean? So what is the crew member job? What is it like?
A lot of times it's going into attics, making sure that the attic is air sealed, things are correct up there, adding insulation. It's pretty basic stuff. A lot of it, from my perspective, is figuring out a home. When you look at a work order and you go to the home site, you're kind of figuring out how the home is working. And even though you have a plan, from the auditor, you also have to figure out how exactly the home is working. If there's issues with it, if there's a need of improvement here or there, a lot of times it's a bit of problem solving, and that's kind of my perspective on it.
You talked about being in attics. You talked about different places you need to do this type of work when we're working on improving homes or repairing homes, things like that. There is some physicality to the work, right? So there's that element, but then there's also the element of learning, like you said, about how buildings work, building science, and understanding those concepts, right? So putting those two together. And how challenging is the physical aspect of the job?
It's a bit of crawling around. You are on your hands and knees a lot, crawling around attics. But I think, and I've been doing this for a while, and to me, it's not that physical, but it can be a little bit for maybe a couple hours a day, when you're crawling around in some tight spaces and like getting to different areas in the attic. That can be a little bit challenging, but I feel like those times we do the work very quickly, and it doesn't really affect your day going forward after that.
So a good balance, even though the job has physical elements, there's a good balance to it. And one thing I think I learned and understood, or maybe I was remembering, possibly to way back in the early years, but all that crawling around made me understand and fully appreciate why babies and toddlers sleep so much and also want to eat so much. Didn't you get that from all the crawling around?
It is tiring. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it made me hungry, but it definitely makes you tired. So yeah, I've never thought about that.
Maybe it's just me. Okay. Nathan, so in the position of crew member, what types of things are people doing?
In the morning, you come to the office, help the crew leader load up the truck for the specific job that you're going to, look over the work order and make sure you have the materials, the tools. And then you drive out there, get things set up like ladders and put tarps down, and help start doing the work, going up into the attic, crawling around the attic, trying to find air leaks to inject foam into, installing air vents, connecting bath fans. It's not really highly technical stuff, but there's a high importance on just doing it right.
You're right. And you're using different tools of the trade to strategically improve the building. So you're identifying those areas, and with the help of the tests that have been done previously, and then also the experienced people you're working with to make sure you get that done right. I did want to ask you, what are some of your favorite pieces or favorite things about doing these projects, these house improvement projects and energy improvement projects?
I always like seeing the end result. And not only in the physical building, but in like the potential impact on people's lives. I love seeing numbers like we always do testing. I love seeing like a big reduction in how leaky a building is, and knowing going forward how much more efficient that home is going to be, how it's going to work better. And then, okay, there's that. But there's also the impact on people's like utility bills. They're going to be paying a lot less. Their home is going to be more comfortable. They don't have to worry about this thing that was in the back of their mind. Like, I don't know what's going on up in my attic. I know there's an issue. They have that, and they don't have to worry about that anymore. And some of the houses we work on are in pretty bad shape, and they need a lot of work, and we make a huge improvement. And their lives are daily changed by what we do.
And so is that more your favorite thing, or some of your favorite things about working at Project Home specifically? Is that impact on people and the community?
I really enjoy how good we are at what we do. Like we go to homes and we do things that I don't know if anyone else does. I don't know if anyone else goes to that extent on like how intense we are with like squeaking out the last bit of energy savings we can on a home. And I like knowing that I'm doing like a really incredible job on people's homes. And like, I don't know if I like to be the best at what I do. And I feel like I'm pretty close to being there, being one of the best at what I do. Project Home 2, we've all been here a long time. We know each other. We work well together. We all have a lot of knowledge. We all know what we're doing. I think just last week we had a big project. We went into like an apartment building. It's a huge attic. We had a lot of work to do, but how quickly we went at it and just got it done. And it's very streamlined.
You mentioned about, having that experience, feeling very good at what you do and an expert. What type of work experience did you have before you started here? Did you do this type of work before, or what was your work experience?
I never did anything with like home energy performance or insulation or anything like that. I installed gutters. So my skill set was measuring, cutting things, and screwing things together. It wasn't like there wasn't too much applicable to like my job now besides just, maybe some basic hand tools, maybe using drills, using a saw and stuff, but it wasn't anything specifically related to what I do now.
I think that's so important to let people know that are looking at this position and looking at working for Project Home. Experience isn't required. I think, and then you talked about how you feel now. Well, a big part of that is the training that we all have access to, the knowledge of the staff in order to help you get to that point. But I mean, that's what we want people to feel coming in, right? You don't have to be afraid or uncomfortable about your experience coming into this position, because we will teach you, we will train you. We've got the people to do it, right?
Yeah, and from the very beginning in Project Home, it's like we had nonstop trainings both internally, and we have, the programs that we work for. They like the weatherization part. They send us to trainings, and it's pretty in depth. And you really, you're not left without any guidance or any training. And that's the really part I enjoyed too, is that like we're always offered to go to trainings to learn more. And it's almost, I feel like I'm like getting a college degree in building science.
All right, just one more thing for you, Nathan. What skills do you think a person needs, or attributes do you think a person needs to be successful as a Project Home crew member?
I think someone being consistent, having good work ethic, but just consistency is big. Showing up, being on time, being willing to work when you need to, and really just having at least a little bit of internal motivation to like do things in a right way.
And I would say the other thing, being willing to learn. Regardless of what your past experience is, there may be ways you've done stuff in the past, and you're stepping into this position and this job and this organization. We've done it so long. We'll train you the way that is the preferred way to do it, and you got to be open to that. All right, thanks, Nathan. We'll catch you later.
Good. Bye.
As we continue to look at the crew member position, We want to bring in a supervisor, someone that supervises the crews, and that is now Adam Wisey, our field supervisor, to give us some more perspective and insight about what the crew member position is here at Project Home and why you should be interested in that. So, Adam, one thing Nathan and I mentioned a little bit was training. Talk about the training that people get when they come into Project Home to do a job like this.
Yeah, this is actually a really technical field, and we provide all the training anyone would need to be successful in this position. We have trainings available for all of our crew members for asbestos abatement supervisor training. Let's say worker, we do some mold awareness training. We get people their OSHA 10-hour certification. And there's a lot of technical and building science trainings that we would send people to so they understand how air and moisture and heat flow through homes and what sort of energy efficiency improvements, what effects they have on those sorts of things in people's homes.
And kind of spinning off of that, the training and the work experience that people get. Also, so much safety is such a focus for us here. So the equipment, the tools, the PPE that people have access to here too. That's a really big priority. Tell people a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of construction companies really require people to bring all their tools and a lot of safety equipment with them. Obviously, they provide PPE for people, but at Project Home, we really just require people to have some basic hand tools, a tool belt or tool bucket with some basic hand tools. And we actually provide all the power tools, any kind of crew operated tools, vehicles. That's all provided, and we really take an interest in our employee safety. So we have fall protection kits available, Tyvek suits, respirators. Everyone's just issued a respirator for performing work on job sites. So we take all that very seriously, and that's all provided by the agency to the employee. There's also a uniform allowance available. We do require that our employees wear company uniforms, but that is provided by the company with the exception of, pants and boots, work boots, that sort of thing. But any logoed apparel is provided by Project Home to the employees.
You mentioned some of the technical expertise involved in the trainings that take place. Nathan and I talked a lot about what the work, physical work was, but what about some of the testing? Can you tell people a little bit more about what that's like?
Yeah, we test all of our jobs before and after. So we run things like blower door tests. We'll teach employees how to run a blower door test, which checks a building for air tightness. So we can quantify the air leakage rate in a building. And then when we perform air sealing in a building, we can see what sort of effect our work actually had. So it's pretty rewarding to kind of see what your efforts paid off for the homeowner in terms of tightening up their home. We do safety testing on heating systems and water heaters, pressure testing. We teach people to use infrared cameras so they can scan walls and ceilings to check the quality of insulation work and to check for areas of air leakage, gas leak detection. Again, all these diagnostic tools are provided by the agency for the employees. And so you're going to get exposure to a wide variety of diagnostic testing equipment for testing home safety and efficiency.
That's fun. I mean, some unique and fun gadgets that are pretty easy to use, not too difficult to learn, but show you really some of the intricacies and how to do the job, which is amazing. I know something that comes up oftentimes people are wondering about when they're looking at positions. So the schedule. The schedule here is pretty remarkable in terms of working in the trades and doing some type of work on homes. It's pretty unique.
Yeah, we have a pretty static schedule, believe it or not. Our typical workday for our field staff is 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if you have a family, nights and weekends are free. We're very flexible. If people need to arrange their schedule around children's events and things like that, medical appointments you might have. So we have some flexibility there with our field staff, but typically a typical work week is 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. And we work year round. We don't lay people off seasonally or anything like that. And we have a pretty generous, paid time off and vacation holiday policy as well here, which I'm sure you'll get into with Kari a little bit later.
Adam, one other thing we missed was the vehicles, right? Because a lot of people end up having to take their own vehicles to job sites and do all this stuff. That's not the case here.
No, we actually like to have all of our employees meet here at our shop, at our office, every single day. We have a fleet of vehicles, so they drive their personal vehicle to the shop. We then pair up our crews, and they take work vehicles from the shop to the job site, perform the work, and then at the end of the day, bring their work vehicle back to the shop and then pick up their personal vehicle to go home. So we don't really require you to utilize your personal vehicle to drive to and from the job sites. In certain instances, it might make sense to do that once in a while, but it's very typical for us to have our crew vehicles used every day. So we don't require you to have personal transportation for work use. We do require that you have some way to get to work, of course, but we don't require your personal vehicle get used for work purposes.
Save those miles on your personal vehicle, which is sometimes kind of rare in the trades. Not everybody does that. I did want to ask Adam, before we kind of finish up on kind of the programs and their impact and overall impact, from a supervisor's perspective, and you've been here quite some time, what do you think are some of the most important attributes for a person to have coming into this crew member role?
Yeah, although it is a fairly technical position, we do train people and teach them just about everything they need to perform the job successfully. So what we're really looking for is a motivated individual with a desire to serve their community. We show up on time, be here, tell us you're going to be where you say you are, and we'll train you. As long as you've got a motivation and a desire to learn this trade, we will train you. And you don't need to have a lot of experience, but we do like to see some past work experience and life experience that would prepare you for working in some pretty diverse households in our community.
I think that's so important. It's more about the person than what you've done to this point. One other thing, Adam, a lot of people are motivated to work at a place based on the mission or how that place impacts or how that organization impacts the community and the world. So tell people a little bit about the bigger impact of, say, the programs that they would be working in as a crew member.
Yeah, so by and large, the program that you would be working in here at Project Home is the weatherization program, which is primarily an energy efficiency funded program where we work in low to moderate income households throughout Dane and Greene County. A bulk of the work is in the Madison area, although we do travel a little bit outside of Madison. Nothing overnight, again, Monday through Friday, pretty static schedule. But these people that we're working for usually have some challenges that our work really helps them out with. And at the end of the day, when we finish projects, people are very appreciative of our work, and it's really nice to get that kind of feedback from our clients. We also administer a number of home repair programs here at Project Home, and these are really needed home repairs for people that can't utilize their existing housing the way that they need to be successful in life. So things like accessibility modification, so somebody can properly use their bathroom or their kitchen, or even enter and exit the home safely. It's really rewarding to be able to go out and provide a service for these people in our communities where you can see this very serious impact on their lives, and it's a very rewarding position.
All about health and safety, making home a little bit better place to be, so people can have do more with their lives and have that safe home base. Adam, thanks so much for your time as always, and keep up the great work. Okay.
Thank you, Jason.
And now we have the opportunity to talk with Kari from the HR department here at Project Home to find out more about some of the benefits and other things, other perks that really go along with being an employee at Project Home and working as a crew member. So Kari, tell people a little bit about some things that they can expect as an employee right here at Project Home.
We have an excellent benefit package. All employees are eligible to receive benefits 1 month after hire, and Project Home provides company paid health, dental, short and long-term disability, and life insurance to all of our employees. We also have a retirement plan that the company matches up to 3%.
And that's pretty unique to begin with when you take a look at some of the benefits that are offered, and also kind of the I guess the breadth of those benefits, how much coverage there is for dental and for health and things like that. I think it's pretty impressive and definitely a benefit of working here as an employee. I'll say that. There's also a lot of great things with paid time off and holidays as well. So tell people a little bit more about what the PTO and holiday schedule is like.
Well, here at Project Home, our executive director, Denise Matika, truly believes in work-life balance for all of her employees. And so we have a very generous PTO policy. All employees, upon starting with us, have the ability to accrue up to 18 days of paid time off. And that paid time off can be used for sick, vacation, or any other personal day they need to take. That amount increases incrementally over the next 5 years, up to 28 days per year. In addition to our generous PTO policy, we also have a great holiday pay policy. All employees receive up to 13 and a half days of paid holiday, which includes time off between Christmas and New Year's.
Okay, Kari, and then down to what everyone's wondering always is what's the pay around here like? So tell people about the pay for this type of position.
So in the crew member position, we have a starting pay of anywhere from $19 to $21 an hour. So this is a really great place to start. There is room for growth. The next position up is crew leader, and there are lots of opportunities to do a lot of different types of work and learn a lot in this role.
I think that's one of the really exciting things is you might be coming in as a crew member, but you get to diversify and learn so much about that job and functions within it. And then you also get to interact with people who have been experienced for such a long time at doing a number of functions within the agency. So you can really pick up a lot. If you want to learn, you can come here and learn a lot. I'll say that too. So there you have it, a comprehensive look at the crew member position here at Project Home. If you have interest in learning more, head to our website at projecthomewi.org. You can find out a whole bunch of information about the agency, the weatherization program, and other home repair programs that we operate. In addition to that, you can contact us directly from the website with questions or apply right on our website for the crew member position. We hope you are interested in joining our team. We'll be back next month for more PH Factor. Until then, take care.